What if everything you've been told about markets is a lie? What if the biggest oil companies in the world are hiding the truth about their own survival? What if the real reason we're going after Venezuela has nothing to do with drugs and everything to do with the most consequential race in human history? A race bigger than landing on the moon, bigger than splitting the atom, a race that will determine who rules the world for the next century, the AI war. And the nation that loses becomes a servant to the one that wins. Today, I'm going to expose it all. I'm Sean Pruitt, owner of Kingdom Exploration, and my mission is simple: to tell you the truth about oil markets that nobody else will. Let's dive in. Before we talk about oil, you need to understand what's really happening. We are in the middle of the most important technological arms race in human history: artificial intelligence. This isn't about chatbots. This isn't about self-driving cars. This is about who controls future of civilization. The nation that dominates the AI will dominate everything: military, economy, information, medicine, manufacturing, everything. Elon Musk said it best: AI is more dangerous than nuclear weapons. And he's building it anyway, because if America doesn't, China will. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, just revealed his plan to build 250 gigawatts of AI compute capacity by 2033. Let me put that in perspective. 250 gigawatts is enough electricity to power the entire nation of India, 1.5 billion people, for AI. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, the man who makes the chips powering this revolution, said, "Energy is now the main limit for AI growth, not computer chips." The chip guy is saying chips aren't the problem. Energy is the problem. Data center electricity consumption is set to double by 2030. That's more power than the entire nation of Japan uses today. And here's the terrifying truth nobody wants to say out loud: renewables can't do it. The grid can't handle it. Solar and wind are a fantasy. You know what's powering the AI revolution right now? Natural gas and oil. Over 40% of data center electricity comes from natural gas. Every single data center has diesel, backup generators, thousands of gallons of diesel ready to burn when the grid fails. Elon Musk had to install 35 natural gas turbines, a small power plant, just to run one data center in Memphis. Neighbors couldn't open their windows because of the stench of burning gas. That's one data center for one company. Now multiply that by thousands, by tens of thousands across the entire world. This is why oil matters more than ever. And this is why Venezuela matters. They tell you it's about drugs, about cartels, about border security. It's not. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves on the planet: 304 billion barrels, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than anyone. And right now, that oil is sitting in the ground while their infrastructure crumbles. Production has collapsed from 3 million barrels of oil per day to 900,000. Pipelines haven't been updated in 50 years. But here's the thing about Venezuela's oil: it's heavy crude, perfect for diesel, perfect for petrochemicals, perfect for the plastics that make every single AI chip, every server, every data center. China knows this. They've been quietly investing in Venezuelan oil for years. If China secures that oil, if they control 304 billion barrels of reserves while we are draining our strategic stockpile to 40-year lows, they fuel the AI, we don't. And whoever fuels AI rules the future. This isn't about drugs. This is about the most valuable resource on Earth becoming the foundation for the most powerful technology ever created. The moon landing gave us national pride. Nuclear weapons gave us a deterrent. AI gives whoever controls it everything. Control over information, control over economies, control over militaries that run themselves. The first nuclear bomb ended World War II. The first true artificial general intelligence, it ends the era of human competition altogether. The winner takes all forever. And you cannot win that race without energy, without oil. No energy, no intelligence, no future. That's the slogan they should be telling you. That's what's really at stake. Now let's talk about the lies that they are using to keep you asleep. Oil glut, oversupply, peak demand. They want you to believe we're swimming in oil, that there's too much of it. That demand is dying. Here's what they are not telling you. The United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve is at a 40-year low. We've drained half since 2010. In 2022 alone, the government sold 180 million barrels, the largest release in history. If there's really an oil glut, why did we drain our emergency reserve to levels seen since the 1980s? Meanwhile, China doubled their strategic reserves. China now has 800 million barrels, building towards 1.5 billion, accumulating at 1 million barrels per day. Why would Beijing stockpile oil if we're heading into oversupply? Because they know what's coming. They are preparing for the AI war. They are preparing for energy scarcity. They are preparing to win. Are we? Let me tell you about the people who tried to tell the truth. At ExxonMobil, two scientists were working on Permian Basin projections. CEO Darren Woods promised investors 1 million barrels per day by 2024. These scientists knew the geology. They knew it wasn't possible. They were pressured to redo their models to make the numbers work. One employee, forced to create inflated projections, named the file, "This is a lie." Both scientists were fired. The Department of Labor found ExxonMobil illegally retaliated against whistleblowers. Franklin Bennett, a former senior analyst, filed an SEC complaint alleging Exxon overstated assets by $56 billion. The SEC declined to act. At Alta Mesa Resources, when executives claimed 4,200 drilling locations, their own engineers fell out of their chairs laughing. The company went from $3.8 billion to bankruptcy. Tell the truth, lose your job. Tell lies, get rewarded. Now, before I continue, I need to be real with you for a second. Content like this, exposing big oil, questioning the narratives, doesn't exactly get promoted by the algorithm. Big tech shadow bans videos that challenge powerful industries. They bury content that doesn't fit the approved storyline. So if you're finding value in this, if you want more people to hear what they're not being told, I need your help. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Even just watching helps the algorithm. And most importantly, share this video. I spend countless hours researching, verifying sources, connecting dots that the mainstream media refuses to connect. And I'll be honest, it can be disheartening when videos don't reach the people who need to see them. You are the distribution. You are how we break through the suppression. So if this resonates, share it with someone who needs to hear it. All right, let's get back to the lies. America's oil miracle, Shale. We've been told technology conquered geology, that innovation would keep the oil flowing forever. Here's the truth. Shale wells declined 74% in the first year. By year 5, they are producing 30 barrels a day. 83 to 85% of all new wells just replaced production we are already losing. That's not growth, that's running on a treadmill. Since June of 2022, we drilled 14,000 wells, only 18% contributed to the growth. And the good locations running out. 60% of Tier 1 premium acreage is already drilled. Average company has 3.7 years of prime inventory left. Listen to what the CEOs themselves are saying. Diamondback CEO Travis Stice, it is likely that U.S. onshore oil production has peaked. We're picking up pennies now. Occidental CEO Vicky Hullab, the U.S. is at risk for losing our energy independence that could come in the next 5 years. The people running these companies are telling you Shell is dying. Why isn't anyone listening? Companies tell investors they are profitable at $30 a barrel. It's a lie. They use half-cycle economics, excluding land cost, overhead, debt, dividends. The real full-cycle break-even, 60 to 65 a barrel. For lesser acreage, $96 a barrel. The Dallas Fed found 88% of executives expect production decline at $60 oil. Oil is trading near 60 right now. And look what's happening. 52 rigs idled. Steepest decline since COVID. Chevron 20% layoffs. ConocoPhillips 25% cuts. Global upstream investment down 6%, first decline since the pandemic. If $60 oil was profitable, why is the industry collapsing? The oil market is controlled by paper, not barrels. Every day, paper contracts trade at 28 times actual global consumption. 60 to 65% of price movements come from algorithms, not supply and demand. Wall Street doesn't just trade oil, they own it. Morgan Stanley controls 55 million barrels of storage, 100 tankers, 6,000 miles of pipeline, and manipulation is proven. Glencore, $1.186 billion fine. Trafigura, $55 million caught using NDAs to silence whistleblowers. Vital, $164 million manipulating the benchmarks that set official prices. The Pioneer Sheffield case, the FTC found Z exchanging hundreds of messages with OPEC, coordinating production. This is not a free market. This is a rigged game. Global oil fields are declining at 5.5 million barrels per day every year. That's Brazil and Norway combined. Lost every single year. Peak discoveries 1962, 63 years ago. We found 50 billion barrels a year in the 60s. Now, 9 billion, down 90%. It takes 20 years from discovery to production. 90% of investment today just offsets decline, not growth. Saudi Aramco's CEO warns of a supply crunch by 2027. The IEA reversed course in November of 2025, abandoning peak demand predictions. They now say demand grows to 113 million barrels per day by 2050. India adding 1 million barrels per day by 2030. Africa's population hitting 2 billion. Petrochemicals driving half of all growth. 666 million people still lack electricity. 4.6 billion people lack adequate energy. These people will demand energy, and nobody will tell them they can't have it. So where does this leave us? We are in the middle of the most important race in human history, and we are pretending energy doesn't matter. We're draining our strategic reserves while China doubles theirs. We're letting shale collapse while AI electricity demand doubles. We are being told there's a glut while the foundation of our future crumbles beneath our feet. The oil titans won't tell you the truth. Their stock prices depend on the lie. The government won't tell you the truth. Politics come first. The forecasters won't tell you they've been captured by ideology. So I'm telling you, Venezuela isn't about drugs. It's about 304 billion barrels of oil that will fuel whoever wins the AI war. And make no mistake, this is a war. Bigger than the moon landing that gave us pride. Bigger than nuclear weapons that gave us a deterrent. AI gives whoever controls it everything. And AI runs on energy. No watts, no wins. Whoever fuels the future rules the future. You cannot bet against black. Oil is the most combustible, energy-dense, irreplaceable resource on the planet. It is the gravity that pulls civilization to Earth. No matter how hard they try to be gods and defy reality, physics always wins. The lies are crumbling. The data is clear. The insiders are speaking out. Oil will be king again. And when the AI war reaches full intensity, when the data centers consume nations' worth of power, When the world wakes up to what they should have seen all along, black gold becomes the throne, and whoever sits on it rules the world. Don't say you weren't warned. I'm Sean Pruitt with Kingdom Exploration. The truth is out there if you're willing to see it. No energy, no intelligence. No intelligence, no future. Remember that. Until next time, one more thing before you go. If everything I just told you is clicking, if you are seeing what's coming and you want to position yourself on the right side of this, check the description below. At Kingdom Exploration, we're not just talking about oil, we're drilling it. Our current project is 100% tax deductible in year one. That means if you invest, you can write off the entire amount against your earned income legally. And here's the part that matters. When oil prices rise, and if you've been paying attention, you know they will, your income stream rises with it. Monthly passive income for decades. I put a link in the description with all the details. If you're a accredited investor looking to take advantage of what's coming, that's where you start. All right, now let's wrap this up. If this opened your eyes, share it. The mainstream won't tell you this story. We will. Subscribe, follow Kingdom Exploration. Whoever fuels the future rules the future.